Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over our trade recap for NQ. We caught over 115 points with pretty much zero drawdown before the market even opened. Crazy, right? And this is using my 87% win rate three-step distribution model. And that's one of the first things that I want to address is yes, that's actually a real statistic on the model. Last month, now obviously this isn't over a long period of time, but last month, all of my executions that I traded live, I had 7 wins and 1 loss in the month of March. All traded live, all called out. That's one of the things I wanted to address. You guys shouldn't just be watching content or picking up information from just anybody. So I wanted to address the fact that all of the stats and the numbers I'm using are backed up and can be authenticated by people actually watching my stream, right? Whether it be on TikTok or whether it be on in the mentorship call, which most of them were. All of those trades are taken live. All right, and I show my losses as well. It's just that I only took 1 loss, right? But that was traded live as well, so people see that. So everything's called out. I want to be super transparent with that, and I want you guys to know that you are following the criteria and following a model from something that's actually backed up and not just from a number that's put on the screen, right? Anyways, let's hop into this trade. So the first step of my three-step model by now, you should understand, is to find a high time frame manipulation. That's how I'm dictating my intermediate time frame bias. Okay, it's to identify the manipulation to catch the distribution. That's the whole point of this model, three-step distribution model. So what's the first step of that? It's define your manipulation. I identify my criteria to find a manipulation super simply. I want to look for the high time frame, meaning the hourly or 4 hourly, to tap into a high time frame high or low, or a high time frame fair value gap. And when I mean a high or low, literally any high or low. But there does need to be a body closure or your change in state of delivery from your open high low close, which we'll talk about later. And this key level has to be paired with an SMT. Your key level in SMT is just a super high probability way to identify your manipulation. And what happens after your manipulation? Your distribution. Okay, so instead of having to do all of this complex stuff to find your daily bias, you can dumb this down to finding a small, or your first step, which is your key level SMT, to identify your manipulation. And this manipulation, again, you're going to catch really big moves in the market. As I'm showing you here, we basically caught the top of this hourly candle before we distributed 115 points, and this is before the market even opened. You can see I'm recording this video before New York AM session is even open. My day has been done for several hours now, and I was on the charts for 45 minutes, right? So your first step, key level SMT, as you can see here, we had a candle closure back within our range of our key level, meaning this looks really good for a sweep, and we paired this with an SMT. So we've identified our manipulation. Now, the one thing that I will say that varies in this trade a little bit is that I didn't wait for the open high-low close. Normally what I like to see is your 6 a.m. candle open and manipulate higher, or to put in the top of the hourly candle before it distributes. The reason I did not wait for this. Okay, so this is a little bit more objective, or subjective, excuse me. A lot of my trading is based on super objective mechanics. This trade, the reason I took it, and I talk about it in all of my other videos as well. So if you want to piece together what I mean by time-based premium and discount, you should go watch my videos on time and price so you can actually understand what I'm talking about. But we're all the way at the top of our daily candle. We're in our time-based premium. We're above our true day open. We have all of our session liquidities stacked on top of each other, resting in discount. And if we just use our brains here a little bit, let's scroll out. Okay, it doesn't have to be rocket science. I do like to keep my criteria as objective as possible just because it's super simple to follow and the rules are super easy. But there are times, and you don't want to do it too often or else you're hindering your edge. But I wouldn't say this was a hindrance of the edge at all. In fact, it was even higher quality even if I didn't wait for the open high low close. My manipulation was still there and our change in state had great displacement. Okay, when looking at your change in state, you want to look at the volume and the speed at which your candles are shifting structure. If this took 30 minutes to close above this high, is that displacement? No. That doesn't show any shift in structure. Remember, your change in state or your market structure shift is a shift. Okay? If it takes 30 minutes and you chop, 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 that's not a shift. That doesn't show any shift in buying or selling pressure. at all, right? So even if I didn't wait for my open high low close, I'm still identifying a super clean manipulation from our 5 a.m. open high low close. I just didn't use it for my next candle. Cause look at this selling pressure we see from this manipulation and our change in state immediately. Okay? So this was a little bit discretionary, but a lot of the students still took this trade because, I mean, just using logic here, you can understand this. Okay? So we just simply enter once this change in state of delivery is confirmed. So at the end of this 5-minute closure, shifting beneath after we've seen our displacement, you can enter there and look at basically zero drawdown, strictly distribution. Okay, that's why it's called the 3-step distribution model. You're catching the big moves in the market that happen very quickly. So we basically identified the top of the move. We waited for our confirmation being the change in state of delivery, and normally I do wait for an open high low close, but like I said, I explained why I didn't, and I'll go over that again. We're above our true day open. We have great session liquidity resting beneath, and this is a previous day high. Like sweeping on a previous day high with an SMT and having that as a manipulation is so clean. You're going to see your highest probability trades coming from your previous day high or previous day low key level SMTs. Those are super clean, right? And also, since I was thinking that this distribution was going to come fast, there's no reason for me to think we were going to retrace. As a matter of fact, if we think of this logically, and again, this is a little bit more discretionary than how I like to teach my trading, if this was our manipulation slash rebalance in the market, again, you guys should watch my AMD video, but price doesn't just rebalance, rebalance, rebalance. This was our rebalance or our manipulation. We can anticipate distribution after that. There was no reason for us to have an open high low close here, right? We already had our manipulation. We don't need to immediately manipulate or rebalance after that. Okay, so that's why I took this trade. And I mean, again, crazy distribution. 2.4. I closed my position a little bit later, so I caught like a 2.2 or something. Made about 650 bucks on this. If I had traded a full contract, I mean, geez. But yeah, that's basically nothing complex at all. No bullshit. I'm not using anything crazy to determine my trading. I'm identifying the manipulation, finding my confirmations for this manipulation, writing the distribution. How simple is that? How nice is that? How stress free is that, right? There was pretty much zero analysis on this trade. I was just following my rules. I literally rolled out of bed. I mean, in my Discord, I called it out, but I did literally roll out of bed at like 5 minutes before the market opened. I wasn't I wasn't even prepared. I wasn't even at my desk. I looked at my trading view on my phone, just saw a key level SMT, and I thought, okay, what's my second step after my key level SMT? Is either my open high low close, or I need to look for my change in state as that confirmation. And I immediately saw that and hopped in. I was on the charts for an hour today because of how simply defined this criteria is. Okay, so that's gonna do it for the trade recap for 1st of April. Caught a little bit more than a percent on this trade, super quick. This trade is still playing out actually. If you could have held it, looks kind of terrible. But yeah, that's where I took my profits, and that's gonna wrap up the trade recap. You guys can join the Discord free community if you want to, potentially upgrade. I'm running a 25% code, so that's where you'll be able to see me calling out these trades in the commentary. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys.